What's going on, guys? Car Review Guys here. My name is AJ and today we are back with another vehicle. Today we have the 2022 Toyota Tundra, the all-new design capstone trim level, which is the highest that you're gonna get on the Toyota Tundra. And it's pretty nice. I've lived with it for several days now, and gotta tell you, a lot of stuff to go over. This review is gonna be very detailed. It'll be the longest video in the series. After that, we're gonna do 5 things we love and 5 things to improve. Those will be shorter videos, so if you need the highlights, definitely hit those. And yeah, let's jump right into it. Start with the exterior, go through the interior, then we'll take her on a little bit of a drive. Let's roll. Starting with the exterior, I don't know if you guys agree, I absolutely love the look of the exterior of this truck. It looks very, very premium, which it should, being as that it is the capstone and it's the highest trim level, and, well, mission accomplished. So, one thing that you may or may not have noticed right off the get is the pillar right there is actually black. So, some may like it, some may not absolutely love it. Personally, I love it. I think it really mixes it up. It's kind of subtle, but it's enough that kind of makes it look like a floating roof type design. It's pretty cool, honestly. So the wheels on this truck are 22 inches, which is the biggest wheels you're going to find on the all-new Toyota Tundra. Moving around to the front very quickly, you can hear the motor is kicked on. For those of you that don't know, this is a hybrid. So you will notice the badge has some blue. Well, that's why. Anything with a blue badge is a hybrid, for those of you that didn't know. Now, you have little fog lamps right here and right there, and you have all LED headlamps. LED is standard even on the base Tundra. However, on this one, you do have upgraded LED headlamps, and they do look really good. And the turn signals are sequential, and I went ahead and turned one of them on the passenger side so you can see what they look like. Pretty neat little touch, something you maybe don't always notice because generally you're the one driving the vehicle, so you don't notice too much. The other thing that I will point out on this truck from the exterior, hardly any black plastic. You literally have, like, it's not even black, it's like got a color to it, so that's not even black. So I don't know if you can tell on camera, but don't worry about that, not black. Arches painted, which this is a premium paint on this truck. And then moving to the back, same thing. There's like no plastic. Back here usually there's some plastic. You literally have these little teeny tiny pieces right here and all the way in the bottom, which doesn't bother me at all because that's functionality. You're gonna step, you could potentially kick it, scratch it, whatever. It's way better than screwing up a very expensive paint job. And before we get all the way around to the back, you do have blind spot monitoring, nice big mirrors. They are auto dimming on both sides of the truck, which is super nice, easy to see out of them. Right here, you will notice your keyless entry and exit, that little line. Hopefully you can see that on camera. The back door, however, does not have it. To me, that's a little bit strange, seeing as this is the highest trim model. So anyway, yeah. Moving on, you do have your fuel door here. There is a button on the inside to press it to pop that. It has a 32.2 gallon tank. That is ginormous for a gas truck. I mean, you see that on diesels generally, but yeah, that is a ginormous truck. Now you can upgrade on like other trucks that are gas to like near this size, but this is standard, 32.2 on this truck for the capstone. Right here, you may or may not have noticed, there is a button. You can press this button on the side, or you can go underneath the handle here. And if you just press it, your tailgate will drop. Now, talking about the inside the bed really quick, you'll notice these little slots here and a flat point there. That is so you can put bed dividers with wood or whatever you may need. You'll even see on the wheel archers, you have flat spots. You can put a board across there for like a shelf. You have optional tie downs right here on the sides. Also, very nice. They designed this for functionality. Love it. Now, when the bed came down, one thing you may or may not have noticed is a little bit of step action. So you can just step right up, hold on, and you're easily up in the bed, which is a very, very nice feature. It's completely power, so let's go ahead and shut the tailgate. And away she goes. Pretty neat little trick there, and especially if you're older, harder to get up in the bed, that is super useful. Right there is your hitch hook up and all of your wiring. This truck is this particular model is going to tow around 10,000, I think it's 460 pounds, somewhere in that. If you go to some different trim models, you can definitely get a little bit higher on that number. The other thing to note, this is a 5.5 foot bed. There is no other option on the Capstone. Now, if you go to other models, you can get a 6.5 foot or an 8 foot bed. So keep that in mind as well. Now, working around to the final side here, I just wanted to point out, I went ahead and opened the door. As you open the door, you have some power folding side steps, which super nice feature. So if we shut the door, and there they go. Absolutely nice little touch there. Let's go ahead and step into the rear seat. As you guys that watch my videos, if you're new, I'm 5'9", and I like to show how easy or not easy it is to get into a vehicle. So I try to hold this level the best I can. Stepping in, you do have a nice little grab bar here wrapped in leather. You can hold that, step up onto the power step, and very, very easy to get in and out of this truck. So that's very nice. Now, in front of me, we have the front seat where I drive. So you can see there is plenty of room. I mean, my hand can't even touch the seat. So I've got a good, I would say at least 8 inches right there, which is certainly nice. Off to the side, you have 2 cup holders up here, heated and ventilated seats in the rear, and then every charging function you could ever want down at the bottom. You do have 2 little vents right here. Fold this little bad Jackson down, and you've got 2 more cup holders or just a little bit of an armrest. So completely up to you, but yep, nice little touch. The seats in here, I'm sure you've already noticed, are absolutely gorgeous. Literally like a tri-tone, basically. You have white, black. We've got some wood trim right there, and everything just looks so nice in this truck. I mean, I'll show you the front very quickly before we jump up there. But yeah, super, super nice on the interior. Absolutely love it. Now, headroom. Headroom, there is plenty of headroom. You've got little cutouts basically up here. It's kind of hard to see, but there are little cutouts. I've got, I would say 3 inches of headroom, and I'm like sitting like straight up. So like if I sit like I normally do, a little bit slouched, I've got probably 5.5, 6 inches, and again, I'm 5'9", so there's plenty of room in the back seat. Also plenty for like shoulder width and stuff like that. So no complaints with the back seat. Last but not least, in the rear, and this actually is a very nice touch. This very much so surprised me in a truck. Pull up on this little tab and boom, you've got window shades, and they obviously just hook right up at the top. You can see the little hooks right there. And yeah, I mean, that's a nice touch, because for those of you that have kids or whatever, that definitely helps. Alrighty, now we're gonna step into the front driver's seat here. Again, you have a grab handle. Many vehicles for the driver's side does not have a grab handle. Thank you, Toyota. Now, stepping in, pulling up, trying to keep this level, again, the best I can. Sitting down, very naturally, not ducking excessively or anything. Yeah. Easy to get in and out of, which some trucks are actually difficult because they're a little bit higher off the ground nowadays. They're up there, so I have 0 complaints, and I'm very happy with how easy it is to get in and out of this truck. So, sweet. Sitting here in the driver's seat, let's show you the POV. Here's the POV as to where I sit right now. This camera is right in front of my face. This is exactly what I see. Looking left, again, nice big mirrors with blind spot monitoring. You probably can't see it, but there is heads-up display out there. It's a 10-inch heads-up display. You have a nice 14-inch screen, and looking further to our right, again, a nice big mirror. And if we want to look up, we have a fully panoramic sunroof, which again is super nice. And right there we have a digital rear view mirror, or regular if you really want to flip it just like that. Completely up to you how you want to use it. Now, that is your POV in this truck. This is what it looks like. Now, you can sit up higher to where you see about right here. I like to sit a little bit lower, it's just how I'm comfortable. Down to the left of the steering wheel, there are a slew of buttons. The bottom left button is your automatic side step, so you can turn those off if you do not like them coming in and out all the time. Automatic high beam headlights. You have your gas popping button. Your instrument cluster brightness, heated steering wheel, your trip, and your bed light. That's where you can turn it on and off. Further to the left on the door, we have memory seating, 2 functions. You've got your power mirrors. You can power fold them by just pressing that button. All of your window switches, which pretty standard, obviously. And then all of the materials are pretty nice. They're all pretty soft touch. I mean, this right here is kind of hard. This, again, is a little bit hard, but it looks nice. Your arm doesn't ever touch it, so it doesn't really matter. And then up here is soft, so like and it's nice and wide. So like you can actually like rest your arm up there if you'd like, or down here. Moving over to the steering wheel, it is a completely new design. I really like it because you can set your hand here or here. You know, there's a lot of options. It's very practical, and I'm a huge fan of practicality. I mean, those of you that watch my channel, I'm all about that. So it's nice, it's comfortable, it's heated, it's got good materials, it's nice and wide, it's not real skinny. I don't like skinny steering wheels on a truck, so that's nice. The buttons are new, but they are very standard, which is nice, so it's very easy to adapt to. Over here you've got all of your cruise control settings, adaptive, lane centering, your different modes for, you know, the radio and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty standard. Now, up here, it is an all new digital display. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. I love LED displays. Those of you that watch my channel certainly know that, and this looks really good. It's bright, it's crisp, it's clean. No complaints. They did an absolutely outstanding job. Now, moving over to the right, let's go right down here. You have several different drive modes. Obviously, you can see your 4-wheel drive and whatnot there as well, and tow haul. You have 2 different modes for tow haul. Now, you just spin the knob, and it's going to come up to show you exactly the options. Now, we were in Eco. We can go to Comfort. We'll zoom it in for you so you can see just slightly better. And you can keep spinning here, Comfort, Normal, and it's showing you on the truck, it's highlighting exactly what it's going to change. So Sport S, Sport S Plus, and then obviously you can do custom, and you can completely change whatever you want. So several options for you to go through and really get it exactly how you want it. Moving up from that, we have a standard gear selector. To me, it's still always odd having a gear selector, like a car gear selector, SUV, in a truck. It's odd, but I mean, it's nice, it's comfortable, it's like ergonomically, like it fits your hand perfect, like no complaints. It's just kind of weird to get used to. Over here on the right, we have a wireless phone charger right there. Plenty of room for it, so that's nice to have up front. Several slew of buttons here, obviously. You've got trailer and also trailer controls over here for like your braking. You have your view, which you can hit cancel on that, hit view, and you've got a little nice 360 show to go through. And you can pause it right down here. So if that's exactly what you want to see, hit play again, and it'll just keep going. So yeah. Keep going over here, you've got your traction control, your hazards, and then you've got your ride height adjustability, so you can level this truck out depending on what trailer or whatnot. Moving up, heated and cooled / ventilated seats, and then all other functions for your dual zone climate. Love dual zone climate. This is your only knob to control the screen, which is just power. So your volume up and down, that's the only knob. Now, some people may complain about that. I don't mind it because the screen is ginormous. It's a 14-inch. And unlike other brands that make it skinny, like Longways, this is like horizontal, and I like it horizontal because it's much it's more practical being horizontal. So, and the responsiveness is insane. Like, soon as you touch it, it is there. So absolutely love that. The only complaint on this was I would love to see a split screen to where you can have like half map, half music, whatever, because it is huge, but they don't allow that. But I assume in time that'll just be a very simple over-the-air update. Now, up on the top, just above the mirror here, there are a few buttons as well. You have your light controls there for the cabin. This is the rear window. It is a solid window, goes up and down. And this is your shade for your panoramic roof. And then this is the actual, you know, glass if you want to actually move it. And you do have some mood lighting right there. At night, it is definitely nice. Ambient lighting, pinstriping all around the interior. Basically along the silver piece on the door right there, up in there. And same thing over here. That's basically where the lighting goes at night. Now, this button right here that we were just talking about, the back glass, if I point it back there, if I press the button, you'll notice the whole thing goes down. That is something Tundra has done for quite some time now, and absolutely love it. And it's definitely a favorite by consumers as well. And last but not least, finishing up here, you do have LED lights on the interior as well, and a sunglasses holder there. Many vehicles do not have that. The other thing to note is headroom is plenty fine here, even with the panoramic roof. Some people are concerned about that because once you get a panoramic roof, it does cut into your headspace. It just has to. So, you know, it's plenty. I mean, I've got a foot probably of headspace, so no complaints there. I think that pretty much sums up the interior of this vehicle. What am I missing? Anything? It has upgraded JBL sound, so has that. Sounds pretty good. I think that's just about it in the interior. I mean, the last thing is really the center console, and that honestly is huge. I mean, you just press a button right up here in front, you press it, it comes up, and there is a ton of storage in there. It's pretty deep as well. You've even got some little coin things right there if you can see them. And then little chargers as well, USB-A and USB-C. So yeah, that sums up the interior of this Capstone, which is beautiful. And the last thing we will talk about before we go on the drive is the pricing of this vehicle. So I have the window sticker right here in front of me. Base price for this is $73,530 for the Capstone, not a base Tundra, just the Capstone. And then there are a few optional things that you can get, which is like the spray-on bed liner, which you guys have already seen, and the adjustable suspension. So you guys, I showed you that with the button, you can press that. I mean, I'm not going to spend all the time because the vehicle literally can go up and down. It literally levels it. So pretty straightforward. I'm sure there's plenty of videos out there to show that. Total cost with those option and delivery fee of $16.95, $77,339. So yes, it is not cheap, but as they say, you get what you pay for, and this thing is certainly nice. Now, let's talk about the drive before we actually take it on a drive. So the stats of it. So this has a 3.5 liter V6 twin turbo hybrid system. It's got a 10-speed transmission, and it is pushing over, well, right around 437 horsepower and 583 foot-pounds of torque. That is really good. I mean, for, again, V6 twin turbo hybrid, that is like, that's really good. Impressive, honestly. So, and then it has all new suspension compared to previous Tundras, which people seem to be absolutely loving. And yeah, that's pretty much the stats and the figures on that. I guess the only other thing to note is the 0 to 60. 0 to 60 on this is around 6.4. Not that you're getting a truck for 0 to 60, but just kind of give you an idea, because otherwise you don't know. So now you know. let's get this truck on the road. Let's see how it drives, because it's pretty good, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. Let's roll. As we get this 2022 Toyota Capstone Tundra on the road, we got to do a quick cinematic. In 3, 2, 1. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that cinematic. As you know, that takes a good bit of time to make for you guys, but I feel like every vehicle deserves one, so that's what we do. Now, we are getting out on the road in this 2022 Toyota Tundra Capstone. The one thing, stats and figure-wise, I didn't mention previously is the gas mileage, and that's obviously a pretty big one. People are kind of surprised because it's a hybrid, but it gets 19 city and 22 highway with a combined average of 20 miles to the gallon. Some people are a little disappointed because it's a hybrid, but the main point of the hybrid system that people don't understand is they really wanted a truck that could really perform for towing. And what that does is it gives a ton of torque, and having that torque really allows performance for towing. Hence the hybrid system. So that pretty much explains that. Hopefully you guys understand more. This is not like your better gas mileage hybrid. This is your get things done hybrid. And well, it does just that based on the towing numbers, which again, we'll round it off around 10,500 pounds. That's your rough number. Your payload capacity for the bed of this truck is lower than other trim levels, and it's right around 1,400 pounds, so give or take probably 50 pounds, okay? So that's pretty much where you're at for the payload capacity in the bed of this truck. While we're speaking about the hybrid powertrain, the one thing that is always of question is, you know, how does it cut in and out between gas and hybrid? Like, is it smooth, is it rough? I'm here to tell you, I almost can't tell. It's so smooth. So Toyota did an outstanding job of like making it work, because there's some hybrids that I've driven that are just so noticeable between when it literally is kicking on and off. Like, you know, like some of you even notice on just the gas where it has like the auto on and off, like it's so noticeable. You can't really tell in this truck. You gotta really pay attention to notice that. So that's nice that they made it work so well. The other thing I will note is this glass is acoustic glass. It's very, very quiet on the interior of this truck. It's kind of mind-boggling, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's really, really good. So yeah, they did a great job on how this truck drives, smoothness, quiet. Again, the engines, you can't hear. They did pipe in some artificial noise to where you can kind of like hear the motor. I don't know if that's changeable in the settings. Comment below if you do know. I don't necessarily love that. It's okay, it's not like it's overwhelming, but you can hear it a little bit when accelerating. So that's really the only noise you hear though. I mean, as far as like road noise, there's nothing. So super comfortable, and yeah, love how quiet and smooth the transmission is, all that stuff. Outstanding job by Toyota. Moving on to the visibility, there's hardly any blind spots because the mirrors are so big. I have no issues, no complaints with that. Big windows, yeah, no complaints with that. You also have blind spot monitoring, which I've already mentioned, so if you do have any issues, then, well, just turn on your blind spot monitoring and, well, good to go. Power on this truck is certainly good. It really is. It's good. I mean, it's a V6 twin turbo hybrid and it does really well. Let's do a quick acceleration. I will put it up for you guys to see very quickly. Maybe you'll be able to hear the sound. All right, 3/4 throttle. Yeah, that's it. It's not bad. Just a very quick POV while driving, sitting up just a little bit. This is what you're gonna see out in front of you. I mean, obviously you can raise the seat up a little bit more, but this is what I see. Very, very easy to see out of. And while driving, talking about like comfort amenities in this truck, it does have adaptive cruise control. I love that, you guys know that. And it has lane centering. Again, not to be confused, there's lane departure warning. There's lane keep assist, which will basically just kind of keep you in your lane barely, but it'll go back and forth. You'll look like a nut driving. And last but not least, the best level is lane centering, and this is what that has. And it's beeping at me right now because I went near a lane. So, I absolutely love all the tech in this truck. The tech in this truck is great. It's comfortable, it's quiet, smooth, like I just talked about. Yeah. Moving forward, the next thing to talk about is the handling and suspension of this truck. And the handling and suspension, in my opinion, is pretty good. I mean, I look at this truck as, you know, luxury. It's the most luxury that you can buy in the Tundra lineup, and it's got pretty soft suspension. Now, you can change your suspension and everything the way you like it within the settings, and you can go custom and go crazy. I mean, I leave it in eco or comfort, personally, and it's comfortable. The body roll when going around turns is really not bad at all. Obviously, there's a little bit. It's still a truck, but it's good. There's no complaints with that. So it has really good suspension. It's nice and soft. The only thing that I will talk about is the seats. The seats are very soft touch, like touching them. But when sitting for a little bit of an extended time, they're not the most plush seats. They're comfortable, but they're not the most plush. So it would be kind of nice if we were allowed to get an option. Again, this is, you know, over a $75,000 vehicle. If we could maybe have the option, again, not standard, but optional, to be able to get massaging, more plush seats. Love the way they look. The interior on this truck is killer. Like, honestly, it looks probably the best out of any truck, in my opinion. I love the look, love the white, it's bold. But again, even for the color, I feel like there should maybe be a few more options because it will get dirtier easier. I mean, that's the name of the game. I'm a very clean person. I don't have kids yet, and so I don't have to worry about it. My stuff stays really clean, but many people do have kids and they're just messy, and they may rather have like gray interior or whatever to where it's a darker color. So to be able to have that options, you know, that may be very helpful for people and they'd be willing to pay for it. So those are the only few things that I would kind of say that they could go on to improve, if you will, which are just options. But everything else as far as driving this truck, it's quiet. It has enough speed, it's quick, it's agile for a truck. I mean, if you compare it to other things, obviously not, but it is agile. It does well overall. And the point of this truck is luxury, honestly. And being a Capstone, it feels like luxury. So I feel like Toyota really did a good job. I have no complaints with how they did. Matter of fact, I'm working on my video in the background for 5 things to improve, and I spent a lot of time really trying to figure out like little things that they could do, and I've already named a few of them in here, but I'll make it short and sweet for those of you that want to see the highlighted notes, basically. So they did an outstanding job on this truck. They made it exactly how they intended it, and they did a really good job. It's honestly, it was long overdue in my opinion for Toyota, and they did it. And yeah, absolutely love this truck. If you guys are considering this vehicle, go drive one, because my guess is you're probably gonna end up buying it, because once you drive it, you'll fall in love with it. So, just like that, guys, I'm going to wrap up today's video. Again, the next 5 things to improve, 5 things to love. those are the next 2 videos on this truck, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Please like, please subscribe. Peace.